Yes, it's from our healing room.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, that would have been very, very heavy if we had moved the outside one.
400 pounds heavy at least.
Yeah,
I
John.
know.
John knows because John, I think you were among us with Ken and others
Right.
that when we first lifted that marble statue,
Right.
that was quite a task.
Yes.
No, that's actually a resin molded statue that we get. We have one of each of our line of gurus, and this one in particular resides upstairs in the healing room. Normally, we thought we would bring our guru here to share in this celebration with us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you noticed.
Okay.
Well, first of all, it's kind of nice that we're able to get together here today without having to wear these. But we do encourage everyone to mask up and sanitize.
And we'd like to check
And
everybody's temperature.
for tonight, for the legal protocol, we are required to check everyone's temperatures. So,
How are you going to do that?
well, if you would just look into your camera there and let me see. Okay, boom. Oh, very nice. 91.8. So it appears that we are all safe.
And it seems like everybody's warm and
Almost
cozy.
dead, I think, at 91.
So, yes, mask up, stay safe, protect yourself. It's important. I'd like to read just something that I think is quite beautiful, if I could find it. Where did I set my page? And by the way, tonight, of course, our agenda, as you all know, is going to involve our meal time. And during that time, we'll be able to share some stories around food. Some of you have provided some recipes. I took the liberty to author those and make them available for you. But we'll see those recipes on the screen. And for those that submitted them, you can tell us about them. I'll be sharing my screen throughout the night. There'll be several aspects. We have it all sort of set up. So when I'm sharing my screen, you'll still be able to see the video, but they'll be smaller, more thumbnail size. And you can size those windows yourself on your screen, however you prefer to see them, if you want them on the side or on the top or not at all. You control that, we don't. Our Gurudev in Journey to Self-Realization had written, Christ is born in the cradle of tenderness. Greater than the destructive power of hate is the compassionate power of love. Whatever you say or do to others, let it be with love. Harm no one. Judge not others. Hate none. Love all. Beyond Christ in all, behold him. Whatever blessings you have, desire that all should have. What a wonderful way to begin our time together here. You know, we're so blessed, aren't we, that we share in this satsang together, the friendship of love and compassion and mindfulness, and that we carry that out into the world during a time when perhaps it's not quite as prevalent as we'd like it to be. I know even for myself, I like so many of you, I like to stay connected to what goes on in the world. And yet I'm finding it increasingly difficult to find channels of information to remain connected without the drama that plays out within those channels. I used to like to watch CNN. Believe it or not, there was a time years ago when I liked to watch Fox News. I I can't even begin to spend 2 minutes watching either of them today. And so it is that I find solace in the friendship that we share. That I call this satsang. I find solace in the partnership with my beloved Anka and with my Gurudev. So thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll have our meal time together while our food is still warm. We'll share some recipes afterwards. We're going to hear some music. Jeff will so kindly lead us into some song. And we're going to have a little bit of satsang on what does it mean over the next decade? What kind of transformation will we undergo individually? Because as within, so without. Whatever changes we take place within ourselves will get manifested outwardly in our world. And so it will be important for us to realize we have a wonderful opportunity to shift. And I'll talk more about that when we get there. And then Anka will help us with a little theta healing to help to remove any obstacles that may remain with us that no longer serve us well, and we can release those limiting beliefs such that we're able to hold a greater amount of light and a greater amount of compassion and empathy into the world. Then we'll enjoy more song with Jeff, and we'll take that into our meditation. I have a recording from a friend who runs the Sunday school for the SRF Meditation Center in Boston. Wonderful, wonderful woman, Amelia, and she wasn't able to be here with us tonight, but she did a recording on the visualization of Christ's love. And it's a guided visualization meditation. It's short, but it'll be a nice way for us all to go into our individual silent meditation. So I'll play that as a beginning part of our meditation. At the end of our meditation, we always like to take that consciousness that we have raised and share it out into the world. Help to bring healing energy, uplifting energy to those that are in our lives that aren't as fortunate, that may be struggling with financial issues, maybe health issues, or relationship issues, whatever it might be. So we'll do a healing prayer, and we'll do some ohms, and we'll send out that healing energy, and then we'll enjoy another song, and then we'll have some fun with our gift exchange. We've done something kind of fun. I hope you'll find it to be fun, and I won't tip the scale on awareness on that one until we get there, but I think you'll find that it's going to be something very unique. In fact, we'll do something around the gift exchange in the virtual environment that we couldn't physically have done in the physical environment. It could make it even better. And I know some of you are going, I'm not sure how gift exchange could work virtually. I didn't have an answer to that. And then suddenly it revealed itself. So we'll have some fun with that, and we'll end with song, and we'll close out our evening. So that's our plan for tonight. And but having said that, there is no linearity to it. You know, we're here together, and we're here to share an uplifting energy, and together we can share that energy out into the world in ways that we'll never consciously understand or even know or even see. But just knowing that that love that we share together does uplift the world. And so thank you for being a part of that. And with that, I think we should just dive in and have some food, shall we? By the way, while we're eating, I'd welcome you just to go around the table here and introduce each other. I know maybe we'll start over here. I don't know if you see the same screen I see, but I see Jeff and Susan over here next to Anka. Maybe if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Okay, so what do we say about ourselves? We live here in Encinitas. We've been together since 1980, however many years that is.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. And we're both teachers. We both teach public school. I'm teaching high school special education students virtually. We're all in this Zoom world together. And Susan is teaching elementary school students at the same time. Where you're at Mission Estancia.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're in.
Right. I pretty much work with third graders, third and sometimes second, third, and fourth graders in elementary. And I zoom downstairs. We have a 2-story house. I zoom downstairs and Jeffrey zooms upstairs.
Okay.
And we meet in the middle.
Okay.
Physically.
Yeah, physically.
Well, I have the high school kids, so we're up here, and she has the elementary school kids, and they're down there. And Susan's in a school that's called The Cloud or something.
Yeah, we have ours is we're in the class. Our classroom is called The Cloud. You know, I forget what we don't have a name yet. The kids are working on naming it and getting a T-shirt made, but it's all distance learning. Since the COVID outbreak of the COVID, we've been in The Cloud.
Okay.
Well,
And what about your yoga teaching? Do you still teach yoga or?
You know, that's kind of gone by the wayside, actually. I still do my own practice, but I'm not teaching virtually. I'm pretty much, I think for me, working with the kids in school has been enough because I've had some curriculum and stuff that I needed to work on. And I miss it though. I miss my students. I had a very small group that came to the house regularly. We still see each other though. But thanks for asking, Anke.
Yeah, you're welcome.
it's interesting. My grandchildren are being homeschooled, and by my daughter-in-law and my son, and so they've applied to the state to be a charter school,
Yeah.
and they went through the paperwork, and so they are a formally acknowledged charter school in their home, and so they've created. They are the Acorns. So
The kids chose the name of the school.
kids chose the name of the school and their mascot, and so it's interesting how different that is from when we went to school, of course. But I'm not so sure it's all a bad thing. That the children are an integral part of their educational process, and I know more often than not we hear, or at least I hear, from people about the negative aspects of kids can't go to school, they're not, the socialization aspect is clearly a limitation, the athleticism, not being able to play sports, those kinds of things. Clearly there's plenty to be resolved, and we will resolve those things, but there's also plenty to embrace and try some new things. And we're gonna model some of that here tonight. Actually, we'll try some new things virtually. But it's great to have you both here. And
Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Nice.
Tracy, could we hear from you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Tracy Showman, and I live in Carlsbad. I was attending SRF on Sunday mornings and really missed that. But I help people who are busy, overwhelmed, and want to heal. So I have a program. I have different private things that I do and group things. I'm a Reiki master, and I love it. I know Anka loves doing her theta healing, And just I'm really looking for ways to be of service. I really want to serve, and it's great that you guys have such a presence online. I was talking to a friend the other day and I said, well, yeah, I do like, mindfulness and Reiki and all of this stuff. And I said, I'm competing with Deepak Chopra online. A little tough. Like Deepak and Oprah have their 21-day meditation challenge.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a comment on that, because we all face that too. There's Anka, I know, leads a yoga class every week online. We've gotten, I don't know, over 100, 200 videos now on the YouTube channel. But we don't have millions of followers, or hundreds of thousands, and we look at other YouTube channels, yoga classes that have 1 million followers, and you look and see, well, she wears very tight clothes, and
They get the butt shots in.
they sort of play some of the sexuality angle, and they're really driving to create an income.
Yes.
Because as we know, YouTube channels can be monetized around advertising, and so the more subscribers you get, the more money you can make. And there are people that are making $100,000 a year and more, and I know many by doing that. But at the same time, they're in some ways diminishing the real intention that they began with. The idea that they wanted just to serve, like you said, Tracy. They wanted to just help others. They wanted to spread love. They wanted themselves to learn and grow through that interaction. So it wasn't just a one-way channel.
Yeah. I say that the thing that's important for me with all marketing is to be authentic and in integrity, and just knowing, like you said, yeah, there are people who have thousands or millions or whatever. I definitely think it's quality over quantity. That's all we want. We want a few quality people in our lives, like really good friends. And with clients, with everything we do, you just want that quality and that authenticity for everybody, right? And connect from a deeper place instead of the superficial, the facade, and all that.
Yeah.
And I think there's even more to it than that. I remember Swami Kriyananda. We were talking once, and he was talking about the final days that he was spending with Gurudev out in the desert near 29 Palms, and he would sit and take notes, and he would be doing editing work of many of the writings that Yogananda was working on at the time. He was one of the editors, and Gurudev had asked him that he was to focus around writing and teaching. And Swamiji had said, "But Master, you've written everything. There's nothing that you haven't written about. What more could I possibly add to the vast wealth of what you're bringing to the world?" He looked at him and says, "Oh no, there's so much more to write." And he went on to say that, and as we know, that the messages are all written in the ether. There is very little that can be shared anymore that hasn't been shared time immemorial. But making it relevant to the time, relevant to the culture, relevant to the society in which one lives, is the job that we all play. See, there's nothing that we're going to create, but we can deliver it, share it in a way that it can be received in the modern time. You look back, Yogananda was very connected into the science of religion, very connected into the material science of the day. But look at how far we've come since his Mahasamadhi in 1952. I mean, I will tell you, it's astounding to imagine where the world has come in 50 years. And now and I know this speaking to my own children and my grandchildren, to share the teachings of Yogananda without bringing it to them in a context that they're able to receive it, given that they grew up with the internet, they grew up with social networking, they grew up with technology. They have a different way of learning and thinking and seeing things. They wouldn't pick up the books that Yogananda had published and written, no matter how great the content was. But we can plagiarize that and give it to them in a way that they can digest it and receive it. So I think that's the role that we play. And to the extent that we can do that with one person, that's more important than trying to reach out and get 1 million likes, to your point, because it's all about depth. It's not about breadth. And I think that's why it's so exciting to see people like you and so many that we interact with that bring a gift of healing, teaching, singing, life coaching, all sorts of what I call service providers in this new era that we need. But it's, in many ways, as Yogananda had once said, after spending years speaking to tens of thousands of followers in the greatest halls of America, he'd come back here and go, "I'll take a soul over a crowd." And then he'd look and says, "But I love a crowd of souls." So to him, it was more, he knew, just like Krishna said in the Gita, of the thousands that come, one remains. And of the 1,000 that remain, only one truly stays. That, if you work out the mathematics, would suggest that 1 in a million can really receive and internalize and grow with the depth of a true spiritual message. That's how rare it is. And so it is that each of us can resonate the message in whatever relevant way we can to those that have ears to hear it. And so keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about the numbers, I remember my first class that I taught many years ago in Los Angeles for meditation in Santa Monica. I was so excited. We put flyers all around all the businesses. I went to all the yoga work studios, talked to all the yoga teachers, handed out flyers. Everybody was going to come. And I was there at 7 o'clock, a Thursday night, I'll never forget, ready to teach this class, and no one showed up. I gave the class to Gurudev. I gave the class as if the room was full of people. And it may have been one of the best classes I ever gave. So it isn't about being able to see the results of our work. It's, as they say in India, it's about nishkam karma, service without the attachment to the fruits of any of that labor. So thank you for being here. It's always a joy to have you share with us. Lalita?
There's something going on with your mic. It sounds like there's 2 mics picking up. I don't know if it's the computer sometimes and sometimes the one on you, but we could really hear Anka's bowl and
Oh. And I have the mic right here. Okay.
You're making a good point. What I'm doing is I'm holding my receiver and I hit the mute button.
Okay.
So when I'm not talking, I'm muting.
Where's the mute button? Is it?
It's
Just off. I
That's
guess.
the charge.
I can just turn it off while I'm eating.
Yeah, you can
It's
just
okay if I sit here?
turn it like that. Thank you for that feedback. Did Lalita drop off?
I'm here, Casey. My phone just went low battery, so I'm going to take a few minutes if someone else wants to go. Is that okay? Hello? I did.
That's so funny. We had our phones on mute.
The mic.
Ah,
Our mic's on mute.
Mine is
It's
off.
perfectly
okay.
fine. Susan, we want to hear from you.
Well, I am Susan, and I'm new to this community.
I have a background and I can't show anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the pandemic
Walking with it. So.
that brought me to you all, to Casey and to Anka.
Yeah, we're happy that you've been joining us.
Right, but I stopped because I'm hearing just a lot of background noise. So that was all. Anyway, I related to very much to what Tracy was saying and what I looked at Casey's story about the nobody showing up to class. I've been in the healing arts field for almost 50 years now as a yoga teacher and a massage therapist and energy-based practitioner. And in all that time, my clientele and my practices, my classes have always been small. And I frequently, and I won't say that I still don't, bump up against that ego thing of like, what's going on here? But overall, I came to realize that I get who I'm supposed to get. I get the people that want what I have to share. And that was an important place to get to on the cellular level. You know, it's one thing to acknowledge it and to say that, but to really feel it and to be grateful when only one or two people show up. And what is always interesting is when I let go of what my ego feels about that, whatever comes out is usually better than what I would have done if I was putting more conscious thought into it.
And how beautiful that you're.
Is your mic on?
Yeah. How beautiful that you're being yourself and not trying to change who
Right.
you are to attract more people. So you're living your dharma. You're living in your truth.
When I had a battle with that when I was younger, because I stepped into both of these aspects of healing arts with just the idea of wanting to give and share whatever it was that came up and needed to come out. But we live in a competitive world, and both of those fields, not so much when I went into them, but they both became, they both burst onto the scene and became very competitive. I had to hold my own even against well-meaning clients and students that would say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And it'd be like, no, that the thought of that, you know, is like a punch in my gut. It's just not, it's not authentic. And somehow or other, I've made a living in both of these endeavors. And so that taught me a lot also about following my authenticity and doing it the way I felt it needed to be done. I am teaching 4 Zoom classes a week, and a couple of, and then I have one private student as well. And I have a very, very select hand-picked group of clients that I'm seeing in my apartment. Behind me, you see the yoga studio and the massage office. Completely broken down now, so I have some living space. And it's not that I don't miss certain aspects of seeing people in person and being with people and but I am very much engaging, and now I have hands-on. But this time has just propelled me so far, so much ahead to the next level in my own spiritual evolution, that I find myself saying, thank you. I am so grateful for this challenging time. And I recognize the difficulties that people are having, but I haven't been having them. I haven't been having them because I've had this just amazing growth spurt.
Beautiful.
So, and this has been a big part of it. I'm a devotee, have been for quite a number of years now, but I was not actively involved. I live in San Diego, but I'm not actively involved with SRF. And I learned about Ananda. I did yoga teacher training at Ananda. I had to do yoga teacher training when I moved to California because I didn't have it, and I wasn't gonna, at that point, I knew I needed to do it. And I found Ananda, and I knew nothing about Ananda, but it was enough that Swami Kriyananda was a disciple of Yogananda. And I was like, well, that's where I want to go for a month and do my yoga training. But I wasn't actively involved, and I miss having a community of people where I sit and meditate, and I know, and everybody, we're all on the same page. And that's very powerful for me.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that as well.
Yeah. That's, I mean, what you just said, Susan, just defines satsang. The ability for people who are in the same, you know, some use the word like bhav, you know, resonant vibration, frequency, however you want to characterize it. But when we can come together with a common understanding, you know, that no matter how it's expressed individually, each of us have different ways of expressing that. But we all know that we are more than just these material bodies. We know that we're never alone. We know that we're connected to the source and each other. That's what yoga is all about. Reuniting that conscious self, that little egoic self-defined existence, into a broader understanding that connects to all things. That's satsang, and that's why it's so incredibly valuable. You know, that not just that we help boost each other up and kind of validate each other and any of that stuff at all, but Master said often that environment is stronger than will. And you know, if I hung out with people that were predisposed to profanity, my language would be different. You know, if I hung out with people that were drinkers, you know, Lord knows, maybe I'd become a drinker, you know. So it's a blessing, isn't it? And part of it is because the grace of your own karma and your own life has brought you here in this time, in this place, but also because you've made those choices. You know, we've all chosen to be here. In the constellation of choices we have in front of us each and every day, we chose to be here, to meditate, to chant, to share story. You know, that's what a gift that is, right? Especially this time of year when the light of the Christ consciousness burns so brightly that it washes over all of us. And so, yeah, Anka and I just have so enjoyed the satsang with you, Susan, and the sharing. And, you know, we get as much out of it as you do. That's the message. It's never a one-way street. Lalita, you're back with us.
Yes, I am.
Yay. Tell us a story.
Let's see. Where do I start? I'm Lalita Malla, born and raised in India. And funnily, when I was in India, I was just obsessed about America, mostly Hollywood, of course. My father has a movie theater and he would play only American movies. And so we kind of grew up on those, obsessed with that, and just dreamt of coming to USA. And we did, and loved it, of course. And then in the past 5-10 years, I started realizing I am Indian, and everybody else is talking about yoga, meditation. And I was like, I was drawn to it. I was always drawn to it. I guess I'm a religious person, of course, but deep down, I wasn't looking into all this and I wanted to. I dabbled a couple of times and gave up. But the pandemic really helped me, structure it, focus every day, meditate every day, which I just love, and I'm really enjoying it. And I met Anke at a spa for my first theta healing, for which I'm so grateful. She is just wonderful. I introduced her to my sister, and my sister also loves her, literally loves her, calls her constantly for guidance, and she's forever grateful. And so am I, Anke. And Casey, it's always wonderful coming to your fantastic place. I love it so much. Miss it right now. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course.
It's really astounding to me that we can all come together from such differing backgrounds, experiences, lives, and yet be grounded in a common understanding. It's a lot of what Susan was talking to, that we get to begin our conversation at this level. It was the thing that I loved the most in the 70s, my first trip to India. It blew me away that I could talk to anybody about God. That, in my own country in the 70s, for me to talk to someone about God, I was labeled as a born-again Christian. We had the label God Squad, I was like, and I didn't consider myself any of that. But in India, boy, the conversation started here. You didn't have to explain any, back in the 70s, if you mentioned karma or reincarnation or past lives or any of these things to people, they would look at you like, you were on drugs or something,
Yeah, hippie.
Yeah. Well, my hair was shorter then.
Yeah.
Well, we share something very much, a deep love of Anka. I am with you and your sister on that one.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was a beloved day when Gurudev brought the two of us together at Shakti Fest.
Oh, where was that? Where was that?
It was May 25th of 2015.
Oh, okay.
I'll never forget that day. We were both enjoying Jaya Lakshmi and Ananda performing at the main stage.
Okay.
We happened to find ourselves next to each other. And the song, This Is the Day, I think that's the name of the song. Yeah. Was one of my favorite. And next thing I know is I'm dancing with this beautiful soul here to this song. This is the day I throw it all away to the fire of the all-loving one. Now I have just what I need to be free, to be who I truly am. And that's what a relationship is all about, isn't it?
Yes.
To really have someone that can help you to be who you truly are, not to be shaped into their image.
Yes.
To be free. And
True.
yeah, so Thank you.
Of course.
And look who's joined us all the way from the big island of Hawaii.
You're muted, Bridie Jane.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, good evening. I recognize I'm coming in quite late, but I had a class I was hosting up until just a moment ago. So I'm very happy to be here with you all. Thank you. So I don't know if you want me to share something or just whatever, or did you have a particular theme or inquiry?
Something about yourself.
Something about yourself, perhaps, and without any real theme or rhyme or reason. What's popping for you?
Whatever bubbles forward. Well, first of all, it's
yeah.
so delightful to kind of step on the call while you're already visiting with each other, and to hear Susan sharing with so much truth and so much vulnerability and honesty. And it's just so refreshing and so beautiful to be in a group where that's embraced. And then Anka, how you responded, again, just so supportive and so honest. And I think I just feel honored every time I find myself in community with others, which just, again, out of our choices and choosing who we surround ourselves with, seems to be almost constantly. But with like-minded souls, with souls who are seeking, who are on a journey of becoming their highest self. And it's just such a joy and an honor to be able to drop in a really real way. You know, even like Lalita, you were saying as well, just, you know, there you are, you're Indian, but there's all this excitement about America. And suddenly you're like, hold on a minute, the newest phase, the newest craze is suddenly consciousness, the journey of consciousness. And you come from a culture where, as we know through Guruji, those who are connected to Yogananda, you know, millennia, that's been the gift from India. So I met Casey and Anka back in the beginning, or early at least, in the quarantine, when they were offering a sort of talk story around how to use tech for those of us who suddenly found ourselves online so much more than usual. So, I mean, incredibly blessed, and through all of that, I've been able to start a sort of meditation and conscious inquiry group here that meets every couple of weeks online. We've been going now since I think April or May, so that's been beautiful. And
I'll add, because I know Bridie Jane's perhaps she's not one predisposed to self-expression, which is one of the more endearing qualities I like around her, but a truly gifted healer herself. Her expression is along the lines of cranial sacral therapy. She's certified in that modality. What attracted me to Bridie Jane, beyond that she was a Kriyaban devotee of Gurudev, and that she had an amazing gift that was not getting, it had no channel to fully express itself in the physical sense because of the coronavirus lockdown. And that's what drew us together. I remember the very first Zoom connection we had together, and I had asked her if she was ready to be courageous, and I know you remember that.
it was a good question. It was a good question, and I didn't really know you and Anka at all at that time because we were just meeting. And since then, I've just realized how courageous both of you are. And I don't know if you even feel courageous at this point, because it clearly is just your calling for each of you. And I just so honor that. I think I've tended more to be comfortable with being sort of out of view a lot of time, and to be a little more invisible, certainly online, not to be so visible. And, you know, so Casey asked me a really great question at our first sort of tech support session, which was, you know, if there's so much need in the world right now, and if that potentially may continue to be the case with all of the stress that people have been under, if you're just working quietly at home, how will you be able to help? You know, how would people find you? And I think that was the question that really encouraged me to take a leap of faith. And I'm still taking baby steps compared to you guys, but to be comfortable, or at least start to become a little bit more comfortable with not only being a little more visible online, but also starting to work online with my clients and learning how to transfer the hands-on skills that I've used for over 20 years into more of an energetic working with consciousness, working with the heart, and working with conscious journey. And, yeah, so I can't really put into one small package what has come out actually of that working connection, Casey, just because it's really opened up a completely different life, which I know you guys share so beautifully and so much. And I'm still just dipping in, but I'm getting more and more comfortable. I noticed this is live streaming, so it's my first live stream. So that was going to be something I was not quite ready for. And then I'm like, oh, it's saying it's live. Okay, well, you've done it now, so you're over it.
You know, and to that point, you know, every time, excuse me, every time you and I would come together, there was something unique that happened for me. Now, mind you, I work with quite a few people across a wide spectrum. My work with Hewlett-Packard and the most senior executives within Hewlett-Packard, and then all the way to 5-year-old children. And so it's a really amazing array of expression and energy and receptivity. But every time that you and I would connect, I kept getting this voice in my inner ear saying, I need you to be my spiritual warriors. The time in this world is now. There's a huge transformation afoot. The darkness within the world is gaining ground, a validation. And let's face it, right? We've all seen that it's okay to be a jerk these days. It's okay to. I actually, for the first time in so many years, heard someone express to outwardly calling a black person a nigger. I mean, it shocked me. You know, I remember in the 50s and 60s, you know, that was fairly commonplace. And of course, in Black Lives Matter, you know, we've elevated things, but all of a sudden we see neo-Nazis and white supremacists and hate groups. And, you know, we've seen the incidence of hate crime increase by orders of magnitude in this country. You know, to me, those were all signals. And Master kept whispering, going, become courageous. We need light. That's the only way. We need to fight with love, not anger. It's not about protesting. It's not pointing fingers. It's not, you know, doing what many were predisposed to do. But it's about bringing the love and the light that exists within each and every one of us. And Bridie, when I saw the light shining within you and in your own way, without having to understand anything, I just kept saying, be courageous. Let that light out. The world needs it. And if there's anything I can do to help open the channels of expression that enable that, I'm in. And that's been the basis of our relationship since. And it's really been, I'm a Cheshire cat. Anka and I watched your YouTube video of your singing with the guitar
Beautiful.
the other day, and it was like brought a tear to my eye.
Well, it's also a very beautiful and moving song as well, which I feel very deeply. And it was being offered for a dear friend who was in her final week with cancer.
Hmm.
There's a lot in that sharing because it was recorded for her.
Exactly, and here's the point. And Master knew this, right? I mean, he's a master because he's overcome all the limitations that all of us still hold. I mean, we're all doing our own work as best we can to achieve that level of freedom. And but he knew, he knew that the world was going to undergo catastrophic change. He knew that the footprint of man on this planet was going to get expressed in ways that nobody else, science or otherwise, could predict. And here we're faced with the potential extinction of our species through global warming as one example, and I'm citing only one. And the incidence of AIDS, the incidence of COVID, the incidence of hate and anger, cancer. Look at how many children, according to Pew Research, and Jeff, you and Susan know this, the children that are K through 12, 58% have been predisposed to considering suicide in this country. I mean, yeah, it just breaks my heart. And so it is that we can do something about that, and not by rallying a cry and printing banners and gathering on the streets. Sure, we've done that in the 60s. I'm sure, Jeff, you and I both, right? John, we've lived long enough to know, that there was something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear, and so we rallied around the music. But we're in an era now that the healers of all types, cranial sacral, Reiki, yoga, whatever it is, without needing the label or the credential, but just the purity of heart and the authenticity of frequency and vibration to bring that into this realm, could never be more significant now. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here. And we'll never fully understand it. There's no rational mind that can comprehend it. But I'll tell you, the CEO of Hewlett Packard, who I do work with, Antonio Neri, a brilliant man, he spoke recently in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. And it was so gripping, the message that he gave to these world leaders, that we are in a transformation phase here, folks, and the acceleration of that transformation is happening faster than any of us could ever realize, any of us could ever comprehend, and in many ways any of us could adapt to. And so, with you, Bridie, I kind of kept getting this feeling, well, we got to be courageous. Now's the time. Let's not worry about, are we live casting? Who's listening? How many people are in our class? How much money can we make if we put this thing together? How do we market ourselves? All that's meaningless dribble. The real question that we need to ask is, how can we be anchored in the authenticity such that others can anchor themselves in that for themselves, not for us, not like Yogananda said, don't believe a word that I say, have the experience yourself. And that's what we're doing. Each of us are having our own experiences. And so I'm just proud that, in a few short months, we've both grown. It's not one way. And others who couldn't be here tonight, the one that Bridie, who butts up against our weekly gathering, she's working with children and has had profound effect. And I know Susan and Jeff and, you do on a daily basis. So this is in celebration of that. This is what the Christ consciousness is all about. This is what Christ Mass means. And, I read something earlier from Gurudev from the Journey to Self-Realization. I'd like to share just another quick thought. He says, if everyone lived the ideals exemplified in the life of Jesus, having made those qualities of part of their own selves through meditation, a millennium of peace and brotherhood would come on earth. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Who do we want to be in a decade from now? We are in a pivot unlike anything we've experienced in our lifetime. It's happening in technology, in material science. It's happening in spiritual science. It's happening within each of us individually in our lives. A person who is imbued with God's peace can feel naught but goodwill toward all. The crib of ordinary consciousness is very small, filled to capacity with self-love. The cradle of goodwill of Christ's love holds the infinite consciousness that includes all beings, all nations, all races, all faiths as one. That's the profound promise of our future. And that's the challenge that each of us are faced with. To take up the mantle of that and be the spiritual warriors and be fearless. So, thank you for being here, Bridie. Alibaba. I know I say Alibaba, but because every time I think of your name, Ali, I think of those cartoons when I was a kid. By the way, I wanted to thank you for, he came back from Iran, had a beautiful time with his father, and he brought us a wonderful gift, which is adorning our floor up in our master bedroom, a nice little rug. Thank you for that. I don't know I ever got a chance.
Of course, it was nothing. It was a pleasure. You guys have always done so much for me. Always welcomed me inside your house. All the meditation, all the healing, all the theta healing. I'm so thankful for you guys, for all the help all the help you guys have done to me and a lot of these people. I mean, you guys have impacted the whole. You guys have a big impact on the world because you guys help so much. You guys help so much, and I'm thankful to know you guys and be able to come to your meditation and know you guys and everyone around you guys. It's my pleasure. And I started this kind of journey about like 2 years ago. I started this journey, and I'm so thankful to be in it. Before I was a different person. I never thought I would be the person I am today, which I like it a lot. It's who I really am. And I feel like who I was before was just, I don't know what I was. I don't know who I was. I think I was, like you said, the case you said, you're around bad influences, bad friends, and you end up taking their path. But I was going the wrong path, and thank God the direction, it was like a dead end and a detour, I guess. The detour is where I came, and now I'm here, and I'm really thankful to be here.
And you've really shown up. I mean, over the years, you've just said yes to everything. whether it was a theta healing session or a meditation or passion map or no matter what. I mean, anything that came your way that was uplifting in any way, immediately you said yes and you actually showed up. So that's what happens, right? When you show up with an open heart, open mind, even if you don't know who you are at the time, or even if something doesn't make sense, but you keep showing up because you go with what feels right, then
Of course,
so
yeah.
much can shift.
My energy is so sensitive now. I could, my energy, I feel a lot of good energy, a lot of mediocre energy. I've changed a lot, and I know you guys know the best. So anything I say is yes. So obviously you guys know a lot about this stuff, and I think today I don't have a coffee, so I'm a little drained today. But other than that, or I ate too much right now. But yeah, thank you for everything, and I'm so happy and thankful to be here, this moment in Zoom with all you guys right now. It's a lovely moment, and it's a moment that I never thought I would have, never, but I'm so happy I do have it now, because I feel more focused too, more focused. Before it was just going out and going with friends, and before as a student to a school, friends, and just stuff like that. Now it's more spiritual life, and all you need is the spiritual life in God. I feel like it's all you need. You don't need anyone or anything else. You don't need anything material. You don't need anything. As long as you have God and you do your meditation and all that stuff, that's who you need. And slowly you figure out who you need to be.
Wow, you've shifted a lot, even in the last few months. I've never heard you say that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah, and when you're on your path, whatever your path is, you're guided and everything comes into it. So you don't need to leave it to tap into this and explore that. You just stay on your path, and then whatever is the right thing for you, it just comes in.
I learned from you. Thank you. You taught me a lot how to give the universe, how to ask the universe, how to be with the universe, and what the universe wants. And I never knew that. I never knew anything about that. But since you taught me that, and I love it. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I've often thought, Ali, what it must be like for you when you went back to Iran with your father recently.
Oh, yeah.
And you spent a longer time. I don't know if you had planned that, but I think you probably stayed longer than what was planned. But what that must have felt like, what is the Iranian culture and the environment that you were in, and the light that you brought into it that maybe in your past visits you didn't have such a bright vibration?
Yeah, this time I needed to get out of San Diego. I was sick of it. I was getting sick of San Diego, going back and forth to the same thing every day. Like, I need change. I need some good change. And I noticed that Iran has a lot of spiritual growth there. There's a lot of poets and a lot of spiritual what's it called, places there that you could attend, go to, and also just being around your whole family the whole time. It changed me. I got so much love from my whole family that I don't get here. So just that loving energy I got from them healed me a lot, and that's something I don't have here. My mom passed away when I was 13, and my dad's always in Iran. So I'm basically here with my family. I see my brothers, my sister, and I never really got that loving energy growing up after my mother passed away. So when I went there, I felt more like home. I had homemade cooking. People, my family would call me, would pick me up, ask what I'm doing. They cared for me, and it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. Other than when you get older, you don't have that much of that over here in America. I feel like everyone's just thinking about their own work, and that's it, work, home, work, home. But over there, they did everything. They worked, they were the family, and they did everything except, they did everything they could in one day, except here, all you do is go to work and come back. Over there, they did everything in one day. And every Friday, you're with your whole family, you go picnic and you eat. And this, I liked it a lot. I mean, I was supposed to be there for 3 months. I ended up being there for 8 months. And I went during a bad time. It was during quarantine. It was very bad there. Everywhere was closed. But just being there, and I was cooking for myself, and it was something different. It was a good healing energy, healing moment that was different than here. Here, all I have to think about, what's the next step? What is this? What do I have to call? Which email do I have to check? But now over there was just a moment to myself, and that helped a lot.
Maybe you can create something here too, that you say, okay, Fridays is my day off, you know, or at least half a day or something like that, where you clearly say, okay, for 4 hours or whatever works for you, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to go to the beach, you know, I'm going to just not even look at my phone. So you have that consistency and you create that for yourself.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. That's a very good idea.
Because if it works there, why not here, right? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
And we create our own reality. So if you can start it, then maybe you meet other people who also do that.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And over here, it's difficult to get people to connect. But staying away from the phone and all that stuff, I definitely agree. That's a very good idea. And just to have your alone time is pretty valuable to me. Like alone time, just being by yourself, it's a great time to recharge.
Yeah. And maybe you want to share a recipe with all of us from Iran. That would be fun too.
Yeah. There's a lot of stews there. There's stews.
Okay.
There's
send us a stew.
Yeah, the stew. It's very good. There's one stew. This one's kind of difficult to make, but the one I was thinking of it's kind of sweet and sour, and it's made with pomegranate and walnuts.
It's my favorite. Oh my gosh, Ali, that is it's the best. You guys all have to try it. You don't have to use the chicken. It is sublime. I love it. I want.
Okay, send us a recipe.
I'll send you guys a recipe. That's my favorite. It's very good, especially if you have it with some rice. Oh, it's very good. It's very good.
Okay.
We're going to share some recipes here in a moment. We put together a little surprise. If you'd like to add to it, please email it to me, and I can add it before we send it out to not just us, but the 1,000 people that will email it out to. So we'd welcome that, Ali. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Myers. By the way, John was one of the first with us here 12 years ago when we began a small meditation group here, what was once our little home, about 500 square foot place, and we'd sit on the floor and there'd be 3 of us, 4 of us, and then it grew to 10, and pretty soon we went outside to the back and would meditate out there, and then we poured a slab and built a temple. Bali and brought it here.
Well,
so my point is, John's been with us over this over 12-year journey. He was actually an electrical engineer by trade, and did the electrical work for the temple and what we used to have it. So he's really been.
But Krishna looks beautiful.
I'm having trouble with the internet right now. The electrical is.
And then
Um,
the other one I was missing that is I was thinking we should.
Lalita, could you maybe just mute your microphone? Or we can do it.
I'm sorry.
It's
Okay,
okay.
good. That's great. John?
Okay.
yeah, thank you. I was trying to recall how far back we go and get the year right. Yes, I'm electrical engineer. At that time, we had MP3 players. We introduced one of the first solid state MP3 players that, well, actually had a hard drive, and beat Apple to the punch on that. But that's a story for another day. But, my path in self-realization started almost 50 years ago. I'm a slow learner, but I met my wife at one of the when they had it in the Biltmore Hotel, the August convention, and started the teachings, and the teachings were just on mimeographed or something close to that and mailed to you weekly. I mean, the technology that we have today is awesome, and I meet online with Ananda, and we do group meditations, and every Thursday we do a worldwide spiritual warrior warriors of the light. We basically work, create a different universe, or try, and we're joined by people from almost everywhere on the planet for 20 minutes once a week, but it's powerful. And I really, Casey's, we've been, I'm losing my voice. We basically have had, we started with the group meetings, and I've grown, quite, I like those meetings, and I'm glad we have virtual meetings to substitute, but they're not the same as the feelings and and the group energy at the time on our weekly meditations. And I know we're probably pushing on time, but I'm happy to be here and alive and kicking at 79, and doing my satsangs and hope to make for a more positive environment in the future.
John was one who had come to India when I was living in Mumbai.
Right.
And I encouraged him to come visit, which he did, his first trip to India. And he and I kicked around India for a time, went to Master's home in Calcutta, and
Yeah.
Kali Temple, and Sri Yukteswar's home in Serampore, and we went to Gandhi's home in Mumbai, and Varanasi to all the great saints there. Of course, and Swami Trailanga and others, but I had a chance to take him to meet with Maha Ananda Siddha, the 19th Siddha of India, who is a remarkable living saint in the body to this day, devotee of Shiva. Eats no food, drinks no water. Is powerful energy, to say the least. But
I don't know, but the video just froze.
Mine looks okay, John. Maybe your internet's a little weak. But I'll just tell this story because it was so transformational. Again, John was
I would characterize him as being a little more cautious than I. Uh, that's an understatement, of course.
Right.
As we went around in India and found ourselves in the most profoundly challenging environments in many ways. And I was blessed and somehow to be with Siddha during this Abhishek, which took me out of my body. And and John was there having to caretake this form. And my friends in India were all worried that apparently I wasn't so anxious to come back into that form, because the bliss one feels in that higher state is so incredible. It's beyond description. And my friends were beating on my chest, telling me, to come back. And so John had to have the unique responsibility of caretaking me for a few days.
Oh, it's a wonderful, mind-blowing experience for sure. It was.
It truly was. Yeah. We ended up in Yogananda's house with his great grandniece, who lives in the home, caretakes the home now at 4 Garper Road, where Yogananda grew up and had many just profound experiences, which we've all read about in autobiography. But we had gone to Tulsi Bose's house and had a great satsang there with the family, and then we walked, and we had my laptop, and John was playing my camera guy, so he was videotaping, and we were live casting this back here to people and recording. And we went from Tulsi Bose's house to Master's home, and we go to the second floor where his father's bedroom was, where Yogananda as a young boy would sleep often. And it was in that room that Babaji had appeared to Master the night before Master left for America, assuring him that everything was fine. And so it was a very incredibly powerful, but this building is a concrete stone building. And we went in, and I opened my laptop, and we had zero internet. Remember, John?
Zero, yes. Absolutely. Flatline,
no bar, nothing. And so John is calling on the cell phone back here to let Ken and others know that we can't log on to the internet, and we'll just film it, and when we come back we'll share the film. And I'm sitting there on the floor with John and with Sarita, and I'm thinking, well, why don't we just ask Master?
Yeah.
Because he's the best internet service provider there is. And so we started chanting, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. 5 minutes, all of us, the family, all of us are chanting in that room, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. 5 bars of internet.
Yeah.
Came. Remember that?
Yes.
We logged on. We were using Adobe Connect at the time. Zoom was not even a thought. Hadn't been invented yet. We were using Adobe Connect. And we got online, and we had this beautiful satsang with the family and everybody, and everything was absolutely perfect. It was...
Yeah. It was an absolutely amazing trip, and many experiences that I still speak of today. My life-changing events.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it was wonderful to share it with you, John. And here we are, all these years later.
Yeah,
still crazy after all these years, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Casey, my husband wants to say hi. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. I'd love to see him. Is he? Can he come on camera with us?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hi, can you all see me?
Hi,
Yes, we
yes.
can.
Nice to see you.
Blessings. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai
So,
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Casey, and I met you. I don't know if you remember me.
Of course
Anki.
I do.
Yeah, Anki, and I also met. So I came from Andhra Pradesh, India, and how much time you give me, based on that, I'll talk. I don't want to take you too much of your time. I have like a lot to say, but
Well,
A few minutes.
we have some gift exchange and meditation, but we'd love to hear a little story from you.
okay. So I'll make it like 5 minutes. Is that good?
Okay.
All right. So my father has been a great devotee of Avatar Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba belongs to, he's supposed to be a man god. And he's a disciple of Panchagurus. I never believed Meher Baba, even though my dad believed him strongly. I was always opponent. I used to believe in traditional Krishna, Rama. That was my belief all along. Until when I was 22 years old, I was traveling in a train. Before that, what happened, when I was 7 to 8 years old, my dad happened to visit Bala Yogi. I don't know if you heard of him. So
Sure.
Bala Yogi, okay, he is from South India as well, from Andhra Pradesh. So it's a place called Ummidivaram. So when my dad was taking, he was at like half a mile away, but we can see him in a distance in a raised building. He was sitting on the second floor. And then I was only 8 to 9 years old, and I was looking at him, and I see a very yellow aura glowing around his head. So I asked my brothers and sisters, "Hey, how come that person has that yellow light around his head?" And none of them see it. And then I asked my dad. My dad doesn't see it either. And then I asked my mom, and my mom sees it. So Bala Yogi closed his eyes and started meditating when he was 14, and I visited him when he was around 35 years old. So obviously he has some power. So I started believing in some supernatural powers in human being. I started believing that, okay, human being also can evolve into God if they practice something. And when I was 22 years old, I was traveling back from a college, and I happened to run into a gentleman in front of me who was doing this. He was doing that. So I was laughing at him. Why was he doing that, And then after a while, he slowly opened his eyes and said, "I think you're going to Kakinada. There is a guru called Sampangi. Please visit him." And he closed his eyes back. So I thought it's funny. How do you know that I'm going to Kakinada? Because the train stops in several other stations. So when I got down the train, I told my dad that this is what happened. This guy was doing like this, and he opened his eyes, and he knows exactly. He even mentioned my name, by the way. "Hey, Ravi, you're going to Kakinada. So please." So I don't know how he knows about me and my place. But then my dad said, "You know what? You never believed in spirituality. This is what spirituality means. There are so many things that you don't know. Why don't you go ahead and meet him?" So I went and met that particular Sampangi, and he's the one who initiated my transcendental meditation by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. So I started practicing, and I had so many great experiences, starting from changing the direction. I was going in a wrong direction before the meditation. After the meditation, it's all about positivity. Even I stopped speaking negative words. Every word I speak must be positive. So I adopted that positivity. I completed my education somehow, and then one day I was meditating, and by then I was married to Lalita. So I was meditating, and I saw myself landing in California. So actually, it's not only saw myself, it's like I was closing my eyes, but it's like I was opening my eyes and actually saw that. I saw the vibration of plane landing and everything. So I told Lalita that, you know what, the last time I had similar experience, it happened. Few months ago, when I was in a meditation, I saw, while I was closing my eyes, I was actually living outside, seeing a woman in distance fetching water out of the well, wearing a red sari. A month later, when I was passing by, I saw the exact scene, same woman, same red sari, same well, everything. So I actually saw that. It's almost like I saw the future, right? So I told Lalita that, you know what, we may be going to America. And that happened. Exactly California, I landed, the whole experience. And then I also foresaw the Rodney King's incident, if you remember. Rodney King was beaten up and
Sure.
the whole thing I saw, and I told my colleagues something weird is going to happen. People are tilting the cars upside down. They're burning buildings. I don't know what's going to happen. And a month later, the whole thing happened. So these are a few experiences I had. I have more to share. Actually, one day I wanted to visit my brother, and I just took the train. My brother just moved to another village. I did not even know his address, nothing. I went to the station. I directly walked to my brother's house and knocked at the door without realizing I'm doing that. My brother asked me, how do you know where I live? And then it was to my shock, because it was a big city. It's very hard to know where he lives, right? So these things started happening once I started meditation. So it's as if like I was holding somebody else's hand, right? So I had great experiences like that. When we have more time, I can share with you. But I strongly believe in theory of positivity. Always think positive, anticipate, and you can manifest things. You imagine that you want to be so and so by in so many years, and you can achieve it if you strongly believe in it. And
Yes. The great scriptures of India passed through oral tradition originally, later in written tradition in the Upanishads and the Vedas have all said the same. We create our own reality. As we think, so we become. It's of no surprise that we're in an era now, Dwapara Yuga, the ascending age of energy consciousness. And we all know that if we want to be sick, tell ourselves we're sick. The body will become sick. You want to be bored? Tell yourself over and over again how bored you are. You'll become bored. So these are simple examples, and there are more profound ones as well. But thank you for the sharing, and thank you for joining us here. It's always a pleasure. I look forward to the time when we can host you back here at the Temple of Joy, and we can hear more story from you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'd like to share something now with each of you, and I'm only going to do it briefly, but I'm going to share my screen because let me show you. I thought it was kind of cute that this our feast here is a bit of our tradition. Of course, this is Norman Rockwell in the painting, a great American, painter back. I used to love his work. Of course, we're vegetarian. We don't serve turkey, but I'm sure that was a tofurkey that he was serving up.
I'm sure.
But we shared some food stories. Anka had made one of my favorite dishes tonight, which is what we enjoyed. I was eating it out of this wonderful coconut bowl that we got in Hawaii while we were there. It's become my favorite bowl. It's a Navratri khichdi. Now, I'm going to be sharing this document with each one of you. The recipes you provided me, I've put together here. I took some liberty. If for any reason I misrepresented, you can let me know. And again, Ali, as you had mentioned, if you have an addition to this, please send it to me, and I'll add it before sending it out in final form. But What's nice about this kitchery?
Sorry to interrupt. I just sent it to you, Casey. I emailed it to you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's really unique about this kitchery is it's tri-doshic. You may or may not know a bit about Ayurveda, but each of us have different doshas or ways in which we process energy. And we are all a combination of all three, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. But some of us, like I'm more Kapha and Pitta than I am Vata. Anka is much more Vata than Kapha at all. So if we were to eat the same food, even if it's organic, vegetarian, gluten-free, all the labels that we give our food these days, it could still not be the best for me or for her. So we look for foods that are tri-doshic, and this is one of them. It works for any body type. It's easy to make. It's incredibly tasty. It's one of my favorite dishes. So I encourage you to try this. And Anka is...
Yeah, it's very, very delicious. And this came from Laura Plum. She is in San Diego, and she is a great Ayurvedic cook. She also teaches Ayurvedic cooking. So again, it's Laura Plum who sent this to me.
And this, Susan and Jeff, are you still with us? I believe this came from them, one of their favorite. Again, citing the author Angela. If you go to her website at vegangela.com, she has a bunch of great recipes. This is one of their favorite: coconut curry lentil soup. Again, listing all the ingredients and instructions for making this wonderful dish. This is one that Susan and Jeff had contributed to us here today. This from Bridie Jane, our great devotee in the big island of Hawaii. Bridie, are you with us? Not sure if we've lost. Yes?
Oh, we have Tenzin.
Ah.
He thought it was the 28th.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, let him know. I'm a big fan of cauliflower, by the way, in many forms. We make it every week in one way or another. This roasted cauliflower soup, I'm definitely going to want to try. This came from our great friend, Bridie Jane. If you're with us and like to comment on it, Bridie.
Well, it's sort of a composite recipe. I found a basic recipe and then just added to it. And cauliflower is just so great for you. It's so good for you. But when you roast it, it takes on a whole different dimension. It sort of transcends itself. And then when you bring in nutmeg and the lemon rind as well, it just lifts the whole thing, especially with a little Parmesan cheese, just lifts it into a really nutritious. And the lemon and nutmeg are quite subtle in there, but they just really lift the flavor along with roasting the cauliflower. So it's pretty fabulous for something simple, but it's delicious. So I hope you enjoy.
Thank you for that wonderful contribution. This was another one that came from one of our members. The mix was so great to not fit on a single slide, so I left it the link to the full recipe here. But as you can see here with walnuts and pomegranate seeds, Ollie, this reminded me of something you were talking to earlier, a dish that is among your favorite. But we're big on salads. This ultimate winter salad looks delicious. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. I'd encourage you to as well.
Yeah, Susan's made it a few times. It's very, very good. It's really great.
And Casey, I can't believe you did this so quickly. I just sent them to you today, and you were able to make everything look so beautiful.
Well, one thing that I'm gifted on is technology and the varying tools. And of course, with Master's grace guiding me, I'm fortunate enough. But thank you for that, Susan, and thank you for getting them to me
we'll share these out with everyone so that they can enjoy them in their lives as well. For those of you that have come to the Temple of Joy over the years, you know that I'm somewhat of a novice chai wala. In India, that would be one who makes chai tea. And we have a friend of ours who is in India, a dear friend, very gifted Ayurvedic specialist. He's 5 generations in Varanasi is where he lives. His name is Rami, and he makes the best chai masala powder. John, you've met Rami with me, so you know. Yeah. And
I
so
have the powder.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, he's bought it. Unfortunately, I go to India twice a year typically, and I have for 40 years. And unfortunately, we had to leave India on March 22nd, the day before the country shut down. And we were in Varanasi. And I didn't even have a chance to go see Rami to restock my masala tea. So I talked to him, called him on WhatsApp from here, and he tried to ship me some, but because it doesn't conform to a corporate brand, it doesn't have a commercial package and a label, he wasn't able to ship it, which is a testament to all kinds of things that are wrong with our world. But in any event, he did give me a blessing to acquire the spices, which I did online, and I started making the powder myself, certainly not to the level of love and energy that he gives it. And when I get back to India, I am going to stock up the largest containers. But I want to share with you the recipe and a little 1-minute video of Rami in Varanasi, as he is telling us his secrets for making the world's best masala tea. If you give me 1 second as I bring up his video. Okay. Now I got to get back in the room and share my desktop. It's a little bit kludgy to do this, but okay, let's go here and here. And I assume you're able to see this. Is my desktop being shared?
Yes.
शिवा काशी पता गाली बढ़िया लगा कहाँ बोलता है अरे वहाँ जाके हम लोग बबलू खेल रहे हैं बहुत दिन
Go ahead, tell me.
Okay, so the spices, the different spices, there's so many different effects.
Are you able to hear Rami's audio?
Yes.
When some different spices goes together is masala. So we make a masala with the combination of cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, mace.
I loved how he stopped talking when I took the camera off of him.
Clove and saffron. So it is all 6: cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, mace, clove and saffron. This all together, when it is masala, we give a name, the tea masala. So tea masala is, this combination is not to cook. You can use everywhere when you are going to eat or drink anything, a pinch, little. The effect of this masala is very energetic and control cholesterol. So this is useful with a nice taste. And suppose, you know, in in India, everywhere, chai, chai, chai. So making chai also a very good combination with your 60% water, 40% milk, sugar as you like, and regular black tea. So everything together boiling. When it starts boiling, then 1 minute more, continue boil, cook well. With the spoon or anything, you have to make it round, otherwise it flow out. So after that, your chai is ready. Then you filter off the tea, and then you serve this, a very good chai, in the cup. And when you are going to serve in the cup, then you apply this masala, a pinch. That is. So this is the masala. And now I'm going to fill it.
Okay. Thank you, Rami.
You're welcome.
Is he the cutest or what? Just the cutest.
So I buy the bulk black tea from Assam, India. This happens to be from Harney and Sons. You can buy this on Amazon.com. I brew my tea with that, and I've made the powder for Rami's recipe, which I'm going to be sharing with all of you in our list of recipes. If you're interested, you can go online, as I have done, and just buy the bulk powders and then blend them a certain way. By the way, for those that don't know, mace, which is one of the ingredients, is the flower of the nutmeg plant. So it does have nutmeg, clove, cardamom, cinnamon, mace, and a little bit of saffron. Now, this is my saffron. I just put just a pinch of saffron in what would be that entire container I showed you. So it's not much saffron, because saffron is quite expensive, as you probably know. So that's my secret for the best chai. When I make the tea, I actually do it with about 60% of almond milk and 40% water. I don't use dairy product, and the almond milk is perfectly fine. I will, though, say in India, I do it with regular cow's milk because I get the cow's milk right out of the cow, and literally within the hour of making the chai, and it's incredible, out of this world. Tracy's asking if I ever do small group tours. I've never done a tour, nor do I intend to, but I'm happy to have someone come to India with me or with us whenever you might like. I only say, as I've said to John and others who have come, be prepared. I don't really like to take responsibility for other people. So you have to sort of assume that. Now, definitely I know India very well. As John knows, I know many people. I don't stay in hotels, and we stay at families' homes all around India. And it's a remarkable experience. If any of you are interested, I would welcome that. You can tag along anytime. Thank you for asking that, by the way. Let me see.
We should do a song. I think we should do a song.
Yeah, I think so too. So that's it on the recipes and food. And Jeff, I think it's time for us to sing something together.
Which song would you like?
By the way,
You're on mute, right? You're muted right now, Jeff.
we sent the lyrics to all of you on a PDF file if you needed them at all. But which song would you like to do, Jeff?
Well, if we're gonna go into meditation, I would like to do the "Mary, Did You Know" song.
That sounds like a great plan. We'll do that. And then after meditation, bear with us, we're going to do a modified gift exchange. And there's a little bit of surprise involved in that, so stick around. Our meditation will be a little shorter tonight. We'll probably only get maybe a 10 or 15-minute meditation in silence together. And after we sing, then I'm going to play a guided visualization for you that is a gift from one of our devotees. And so you'll take that into your meditation. Good enough.
Okay. And for this to work best, it requires everybody to be muted except myself, of course, and just sing along. And if you have the words, then you'll know. Maybe you've heard this song before. It is a quote unquote Christmas song, but it's not one that you hear all the time when you're listening to the radio or whatever, or you're in the store shopping. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would someday walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kissed your little baby, then you've kissed the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the mute will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that, Jeff. And what great lyrics and what a great story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're
You
welcome.
know, we're blessed also now to be joined by the Tibetan Buddhist monks of the Gaden Shatse monastery in India. They're all have been in lockdown in Los Angeles and Long Beach at their Buddhist monastery. They've been creating the most amazing sand mandalas each year as an offering into the world. They came down here to Encinitas and stayed with Anka and I, and through the guidance of Susan, we're able to offer classes to the universities and purification, blessings. Please welcome the wonderful monks here with us. I'm going to unmute your if you want to unmute your microphones there, then you can give us blessing. That would be wonderful. It's so nice to see you all again.
Okay. Thank you very much, Cassie.
We're so happy that you were able to join us. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. So we're going to do small chanting for to participate in this celebration. So hope you enjoy and have a blessing. It's a chanting of to all the sentient beings to be happy, to be joy, to be overcome from all those kind of sufferings, and remain in an equanimity, which is the most important kind of method or most important kind of like instructions how you can survive in this world. So we're going to do this 4 immeasurable kind of like prayers in a Tibetan languages with a melody of chanting.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Tenzin, and all of our wonderful friends there. We trust that you are all safe, and we're so thankful in the work that you're doing in the beautiful mandalas created that are shared to the world, the consciousness that you bring, the teachings of the great, holiest, honorable Dalai Lama. And you know you have a home here in Encinitas whenever you're able to come back and visit us.
Okay, thank you very much, Cassie.
Now, before we go into our little gift exchange, we're going to do a little meditation together. I'm going to play a visualization on the Christ that we can take deeply inward as part of this Christ Mass celebration that we're all having, followed by another song from Jeff before we do our gift exchange in our guidance Shatse monks there. If we hope you can stay with us and join us in this brief meditation. I'm going to share my desktop again with each of you as I share. Give me one moment as I find. I find what it is I want us to share.
Jesus said,
Okay.
Okay. Wish you Merry Christmas, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. Many
Merry
blessings.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Let me share with you. I assume you can see my screen. If one can confirm for me that the screen is shown for you.
Yes, we can see it.
Great.
Beautiful. Now let's all sit upright and into our meditative asana, lengthening our spine, becoming more aware of our breath, drawing all of our energy inward, and lifting the gaze up behind closed or partially closed eyelids at the Christ center. And let's enjoy this brief visualization of Christ's love.
Jesus said, "As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love." Paramahansa Yogananda writes, "Try to imagine the love spoken of by Jesus in these verses. Close your eyes. Put your attention on the heart and feel the greatest love that you ever felt for another person. Let that love saturate every cell of your body. Now, expand that feeling of love like an encircling sphere embracing your family, friends, all your loved ones. Feel your love ever increasing. Include in that sphere all the people in your city. Then all of your country. Now everything in the world is bathed in that love. The whole earth, the solar system, the far-flung galaxies and island universes. Everything is floating in this vast sphere of love. Feel, meditate on, merge yourself in the love which permeates and upholds the infinitudes of manifestation, a demonstrable presence of God's heartbeat of bliss, setting the pace of cosmic harmony and unity, and known to the devotee as the all-in-all fulfillment. Paramahansa Yogananda explains, the love felt in the heart at the beginning of this visualization is human love, and the love that expanded until it encompassed everything is the universal love of Christ, the infinite love of God.
We'll take that into a silent meditation for just a few short minutes, feeling the Christ consciousness within, the infinite love, joy, peace that is our birthright. Let's take a minute now and visualize those within our lives that could use some healing energy from us and see them at that point between the eyebrows at the Christ center. Visualize them surrounded with white healing light, happy, healthy, vibrant. And with that image, let's bring our hands together in our heart in pranam and with devotion. Join me in this healing prayer. Heavenly Father,
Heavenly Father,
Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
friend, beloved God,
friend, beloved God,
great masters of self-realization,
great masters of self-realization,
saints and sages of all religions,
saints and sages of all religions,
humbly we bow at your feet.
humbly we bow at your feet.
Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
thou art omnipresent.
thou art omnipresent.
Thou art in all thy children.
Thou art in all thy children.
Manifest thy healing presence
Manifest thy healing presence
in these bodies, minds, and souls.
in these bodies, minds, and souls.
And rubbing the hands together, we'll send out on the wave of Om for healthy bodies, minds, and souls, those in our lives in need of our cosmic conscious energy. And on one final Om, let's send out our love and light to all living beings on this planet that they too may awaken in the Christ consciousness. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
We recognize that it's getting late, and we think that we might change a little bit on the gift exchange. Of course, there are no rules. We're all able to adapt and adjust to what works for all of us. There are certain realities that we face, one of which is it might be a good time to take a body break. If any of you would like to, this might be a good time. And then I have everything set up for the gift exchange. I realize that some of you were unable to provide a gift, but on the other hand, we had a couple of people that did, that for one reason or another were not able to join us tonight. So we actually have enough gifts for everyone here. And just to run quickly, well, first let me ask, anyone need to take a body break? Okay, why don't we do that? I'm going to do that as well. Santa has been riding this sleigh all day long. I'll just take a 2-minute body break, and then we have a little surprise on the gift exchange. So please.
See you in a couple of minutes.
Couple of moments. Tinko. Ooh, chocolate. Nice. So.
Whitey Jane, I loved your image, the ocean image.
The virtual background.
Thank you. That's islands where I was born.
Oh.
Silly.
You guys will come one day.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It's a beautiful place.
Well, Santa is wearing the microphone hanging off his beard. Traditionally, the gift exchange is played by people drawing from a bowl or a hat numbers. And then that number will define the sequence in which you choose a gift. You choose a gift, unwrap it, and then the next person, number 2, has a choice of taking that gift that you chose, number 1, or open a new gift. And so it goes until a gift has been touched. The third hand that touches that gift, it lands there. It cannot be taken by anyone. Are those rules acceptable to everyone?
With the virtual hands.
Now, we have 8 squares here, and we just so happen to have 8 gifts. So we're going to start by picking numbers from 1 to 8. And we're going to do that with a random number generator. And so we're going to go around the circle and assign those numbers based on a random number generator. And I can share my screen, I believe, if you give me one moment. Make sure I still have the random number generator up. Yes, I do. And okay, let's see here. Now, so you should see a random number generator on your screen. You'll notice the minimum number is 1 and the maximum number is 8. And as I click on generate, it'll generate a number. We're going to just go around the room here. John, you'll be the first one. I'll click this random number generator and it generates number 6. So John, that is your number. Let's go to Jeff and Susan. Now, if the random number generator selects a number that was already taken, we're going to click it again until we get a unique number. So number 2, Jeff and Susan. Don't forget your number. You may want to write it down. Let's, Ollie, I'm going to just generate this for you. Oops, 6, John already has that. We're going to generate a number 5. Ollie, you are number 5. Tracy, I'm going to do yours next. Number 3. So Tracy, you are number 3. Susan Gilbert? Number 1. Ha-ha, you go first. You know the old biblical expression, though. I won't quote it. Okay, let's go to Bridie Jane. Bridie, let's see what we have. 5 is taken. Ollie has 3, Tracy has 7. Good number, Bridie Jane. That's your number 7.
Sacred number 7.
Sacred number 7. Okay, Lalitha.
Mm-hmm.
3 is taken. 5 is taken. 3 again. Again, it's a random number generator. 2, Jeff and Susan have. 6, John Meyer has. 8, that's available. So, Lalitha, you have 8. That's a pretty good number to have because
Mm-hmm.
you essentially get almost your choice of gifts.
Right.
Okay, this one is for Anka and I. What do we have? 1, 2, 3.
4 is left.
4 is the last number, so that's Anka and my number 4. Okay, so I am going to stop the random number generator. We're done with that. So are we're all ready? We all have our numbers? Okay. Now, I want to give one disclaimer here. Obviously, there are some gifts that you're going to be unwrapping that may require local presence. It could be a healing offer or something from a local healer here. And in that case, we'll try to see that gift ends up with someone here locally versus someone like Bridie Jane in Hawaii, a gift that may be shipped to Bridie.
Unless that's an incentive for her to come to Encinitas.
Not a bad incentive. Of course, we have a bigger one. That's that you have a whole family of loving souls here that would love for you to come visit.
It's over.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and dive right into our game here. Bear with me for just one moment as I prepare our gifts. So you should see there are 8 wrapped presents here under our virtual tree. And who was number 1?
Me.
Okay, Susan. So if you would just call out which of these beautifully wrapped presents you would like to unwrap, and I'll do the honors for you.
The light blue one. The light blue box.
Light blue with the orange, blue, and green ribbon, right?
Looks good.
Okay, let's see what that reveals. Well, that's a small image, so let's see what that present actually looks like.
Wow.
It's a Healing Crystals Chakra Balancing Kit. How cute is that?
Mm-hmm.
We have 7 tumbled stones, 7 rough stones, a selenite wand, a Palo Santo smudge stick for good energy, and a guide for how to use it all with a little carrying bag. Okay, so we are going to put your name on to that gift. All right. So Susan has the chakra stones, and who's number 2? Jeff and Susan.
Okay.
Which gift would you like?
We'll take the green one with the red ribbon.
Green one with the red, beautiful ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay, good choice. Little box there. Let's see what's behind the green ribbon. Ooh, Katie's Healing Kitchen. Okay, let's go and blow that up for you to be able to see. It's a book signed by the author, Katie Farina, on healthy plant-based recipes for every kitchen.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
What a great gift. Okay.
Still.
All right. Well, nice. So that's certainly worth stealing from someone. Let me put in here Jeff and Susan. Okay, and we're going to try anyway. Let's come over here and let's put your name on your gift so we know. Jeff and Susan. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
well, it's not over yet. Tracy's up with number 3. And Tracy, you have an option here. You can take what Susan drew, which is the walking crystal chakra balancing stones, or you can take this wonderful Katie's Healing Kitchen book, or you can select a new present to unwrap. What would you like to do?
It's a tough choice.
I'm gonna get the bag with the green tissue paper sticking out of it.
Okay, let's see what we have hidden behind that green tissue paper. Ah, it's a CD of meditation piano music. Let peace gently enfold you as you listen to the lifting melodies of meditations for piano. Now, I will tell you, being a real aficionado of David Miller's work, and particularly this CD, I used to carry this CD around with me as I traveled India, and I used it in my meditations for many years. It's a really relaxing instrumental piano meditative music. So
Santa must know.
Congratulations, Tracy. Let's come back over here and let's put Tracy's name next to her gift. Well,
Okay.
How are we doing so far?
Good.
So number 4, this is Anka and I.
Let's see. Well, the red one is looking pretty intriguing, but I kind of like the Katie's Healing Kitchen. That sounds really good.
I like that too. That's
Well,
right
if Jeff
up
and
our
Susan
alley.
don't mind, maybe we'll steal the Katie's Healing Kitchen book.
Well, you know what? I think you're right on target.
My boy gets worried.
Well, you know, a game is a game.
See?
And we do have the option here of stealing, which we are going to do. So that leaves you open to either a relaxed CD or chakra stones or one of the remaining unopened gifts. What would you like to do, Jeff and Susan?
I think we'll take an unopened gift, the round box with the silver bow and ribbon.
You like that round box? I did too. It's really pretty. All right, well let's see what's in that round box.
I'm just getting water.
Ooh, it's a Create Your Sacred Space handcrafted home temple.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Look at that, a silver foiled wooden wall hanging puja mandir. And as you can see here, the time to know God is now, which is a great quote from Gurudev. This little temple can hang on your wall or sit on your desk. You can adorn it with a deity, with a picture, with incense, flower. What do you think?
Yes, that's nice. But we're not attached. We're not attached.
Not
Yeah,
attached.
that's
No,
always
none
good.
of us,
Because
none of
that's
us
how
are
this
attached.
game goes.
Definitely a good
Absolutely.
game of learning detachment.
Absolutely. We love that non-attachment. But that is a wonderful gift. Okay, well, we've attached your name to it. Now, whether it sticks or not remains to be seen.
Who's 5?
So we have now Ali. Ali,
Yeah.
you have a choice here of Katie's Healing Kitchen Cookbook of all kinds of really great organic recipes. Let's show that to you again here. Signed by the author herself. You have an option for this wonderful handcrafted home temple to hang on your wall. Adorn it with a deity of your choice, a picture. It could be even your pet or your father, or a picture of Iran, anything that you hold sacred. You have an option for a CD of meditative piano instrumental music, healing crystals chakra balancing kit. Lots of great choices here, Ollie. I'm going to have to ask you to make one. What would
Well,
you like to do?
our new one.
You made it difficult.
What is your intuition telling you?
The pink box.
Okay,
Pink
let's grab your
box.
name here.
There's a pink box.
Pink box is down here on the bottom right corner, and I'm going to put your name next to it here before we unwrap it and see what's actually behind this beautiful pink wrapping. Oh, it is a beautiful USB rechargeable electric arc lighter for lighting your
cool.
candles. Yeah, camping, cooking. No longer have to use gas. You can recharge it through your USB port of your computer.
Windproof too.
Windproof. No spark, no smell. It's non-toxic. Renewable energy.
Thank you.
That's pretty nice. Okay, Ollie, we got your name next to this beautiful gift here. And that leads us to Mr. John Myers. What do you think, John?
Oh, yeah. So the choices.
Let's go back here. Let's just to help you out. I don't want you to have to make any rash decisions. We have beautiful lighters here. We have chakra stones. Might be a good gift for the daughter. Help her balance her energies.
Yeah.
Nice meditative music. Swami Kriyananda wrote in collaboration with David Miller. We have,
I'm gonna go for the piano music meditation.
no, that's a good choice.
Okay.
One of my personal favorites. Let's go in here. Let me get
Not
John.
to steal it from.
Yep.
Okay.
Stealing it from.
Okay, Tracy, you are going to be up next here in a moment to recover a gift now that John has taken your CD from you. Would you like to see the gifts again, Tracy, or do you have any ideas already? Happy to show you them. You've got.
No, I get it. I'm.
USB.
Let's open another one. How about that?
Okay.
Which one?
Which one would you like to open? You've got 3 boxes remaining. Actually, this nicely wrapped red one with the, I'm not very good at wrapping gifts. You can tell here. I use lots of tape.
Very creative.
Like the ugly Christmas sweater version of wrapping paper, huh?
Oh, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, you called it. What would you like us to open for you?
I'll go with the purple swirly with the gold.
Ooh, that's a good choice. Yeah, purple swirly with the gold. Let's see what happens to be in that box. Ah, this is an interesting one, isn't it, Tracy? Because
A little
this is your gift to the group. So we're going to see that that goes somewhere other than to you. It's for a Reiki energy healing session with our very own healer, Tracy. I would love, quite frankly, and I'll make this suggestion, and it's only that, but because this is an online gift of healing and kindness and love, and Bridie is in Hawaii, unable to take advantage of any other gift that requires physicality here in Encinitas, there's an option that this gift could go to Bridie.
I think that's a great idea. So it's up to her.
But we'll leave it and see. Let's see, Bridie, you're actually up next.
Switch
Oh,
if you like.
perfect.
Huh?
I think we can switch if you like.
Okay. Well, okay, so we have options here. Ollie is willing to switch
With the Tracy.
with Tracy.
Okay.
Isn't that her own?
That is Tracy's gift. That's correct. So you could have a Reiki session with Tracy, and Tracy could take the
lighter,
the USB rechargeable lighter.
If you like. Yeah.
Tracy?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay.
Well, it still, is available to Bridie should she want to, take that. Right now, let's swap those out. My finger on the mouse is not quite as fluid as I'd like it to be.
Thanks for the flexibility.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course.
It's always nice to be unattached, I think, as Jeff had pointed out earlier. Okay, so here's what we got. Let me put those there. And we are now awaiting from our very own Bridie.
What do you think, Bridie?
Well, I tell you, it's very tempting. All these gifts are so thoughtful and so beautiful.
Yeah, really sweet.
You know, I kind of like, Anka, that you initiated the idea of stealing gifts.
Yeah. That's what makes this game so interesting.
We might have all been really polite otherwise and just taken them.
Yeah.
And I happen to know, Anka, that you're a fantastic cook, so I hope you won't mind me stealing your beautiful cookbook.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to move.
I tell you, starting to cook healthier meals is one of my goals for 2021.
Okay.
Well, this is a great
Good start.
Good start for that, assuming you hang on to that. Okay, so now this is Anka, your and my choice. And personally, I'm I'm going to have to consult here with my partner, but these chakra stones would be a great gift for Bodhi or Maya.
Oh, that's true. Bodhi would probably already
He would
dig it.
love it. He's collecting crystals.
Okay, we're gonna we're gonna steal again. We're gonna go for the chakra stones.
Susan, I hope you're okay with that, and if you're not, that's too bad. But we're going to take those chakra stones and put our name by them. Susan, you have a choice. You've got the Relax CD of meditative music. You've got Create Your Sacred Space, a beautiful little mandir. You've got a Reiki session with Tracy. I think
that one is solid now, isn't it? The cookbook. Because
might be
it's the third
solid
person,
with Friday because it's passed already.
Or the two new options.
Or one of the two new options. What are you drawn to, Susan?
I think you're Charlie Brown rapping.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Susan. You are a woman of good taste. I have no idea what's behind it, but let's see. Boom. Oh, look at this. Well, this is a free hour acupuncture treatment with Kevin, who lives here in our neighborhood, has a practice in LA and here in Encinitas. Understand that actually Anka and I have both gone to Kevin for acupuncture treatments. He's wonderful. Has a very safe clinic here in Encinitas. We went not too long ago, quite frankly. But it's a very clean, very safe environment. But again, you can use it whenever you like, or you can gift it.
And Kevin was going to join us, so we don't really know why he didn't. But
yeah, Kevin was going to be here tonight. This was his gift that he was bringing into the game. So anyway, right now, Susan, that gift has got your name attached to it. And that brings us to Lalita.
You know what's on the table. So you can choose.
Let me get your name tag ready.
Would you like to open the new gift or choose one of the open ones?
Let's go through them. You have a USB rechargeable electric arc lighter for all of your candle lighting needs. You do not have a chakra balancing kit, but yes, you actually do if you want to take that. That's an option. You have, I think we still have the chance to take the meditation piano music, the Reiki energy healing session with Tracy, an acupuncture session with Kevin. The book is taken, or your own silver foiled wooden wall hanging puja mandir to adorn your home to connect you to God. So,
what would you like?
Or, not to forget, one remaining unopened package. Lalita, what would you like to do?
Are you muted? Or are you still thinking about all the great?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I do love the Reiki session, but then the person who's attached to it, I don't want to take it from them. So I'll go
No, wait a minute. This is
You
the
can choose
game.
whatever you like.
You should freely, we are non-attached to any of these, right, Ali?
Of course, yeah, no, whatever whoever wants. The universe is working for a reason.
Exactly.
I'll go ahead and open the new one.
Oh, okay. Well, that will close out our
Yes.
gift exchange, and let's see what Lalita is going to be taking home. Ooh. An essential oil diffuser, aromatherapy with cool mist, a humidifier, and it gives off different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful for relaxation. We actually have something very similar sitting close to us
Just light. I mean,
now.
it's just.
We use it in our rooms, especially now that we're using heat at night. It's nice to add a little humidifying and aromatherapy scents.
Right. Right.
Beautiful gift. Nice choice.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our gift exchange. These are the gifts we have. Bridie will be mailing you this gift. Susan, Ali, you can redeem these. We'll send you information on contacting and redeeming those. John will get you your CD. Tracy, your lighter, and Jeff and Susan, we have your mandir sitting right here in front of us. And the aromatherapy will be shipped directly to you from Amazon. So that will conclude our gift exchange.
Thank you so much for
Ho,
being
ho,
part of it and
ho.
all the thoughtful gifts.
Here's John, your CD we have for you. And just so Jeff and Susan know, your beautiful mandir.
Thank you. Thank you, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
You're welcome.
It comes with an extra special om that you can adorn with it as well. So since you acted now, you got operators are standing by.
Was this your first virtual gift exchange?
Yes.
That was very cute.
That was cute. It was really fun. And those
Very
were like
nice.
all like the best gifts I've ever seen in one of these. Thank you all.
Yes,
Really
thank
sweet.
you
Yeah,
all
thank you
indeed.
very
It was
much.
all of you that made it happen. We just, I mean, how much fun, right? Not clearly, it'd be lovely to all be seated around a tree and all of us together, but this
Maybe
feels
next
pretty
year.
darn good. I hope you would agree.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Merry Christmas.
before we close, we're going to ask Jeff to strap on that guitar for us.
Feliz Navidad.
We'll close with Feliz Navidad. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect song to close with.
And
Thank you also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sing along. If you want to
we
mute your
have the
mics.
lyrics here. They're pretty simple lyrics. By the way, I didn't realize this, but who can tell me, not you, Jeff, who can tell me who wrote this song originally?
Yeah.
Anyone? Come on.
Santa?
Was it Jose Feliciano?
Very good. You win. Yes, that's exactly right. Jose Feliciano. I learned that yesterday as I was pulling the lyrics to send out to everybody. And I love his music. So, Jeff, why don't you lead? I'm going to mute everyone except Jeff, so unless you can mute yourself.
But still sing along.
And let's sing along. Yeah, just let's close out our Holy Days celebration together with this beautiful song. And then I have one final reading, short from Paramahansa Yogananda, to help us close the night out. Jeff?
Yeah. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Well,
Oh, nice. I like that.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Jeff, Susan, your contribution tonight, immeasurable. And all of you, what a beautiful expression of kindness and the Christ consciousness right here as we hold that vibration. And let me leave us with these words of Gurudev. The message of the heavenly host to the shepherds in the countryside of Bethlehem was on earth peace and goodwill toward men. Peace in the world starts with peace in our individual hearts. The peace of God, which passeth all understanding, is the peace Jesus came to bring to man. It is the only sure foundation to world amity. It is found in the interiorized state of one's God communion in meditation. Then, like an ever full reservoir, it pours out freely to one's family, friends, community, nation, and the world. Jai Gurudev, Jai Ma, Merry Christmas all.
Many blessings, a wonderful new year, healthy, happy. And next week we're not going to do anything because...
No satsang meditation or healing this coming week at all.
And next week.
And next week. We're actually going to Mexico next week. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, for a few days in warm ocean.
It's in the East Cape. We're flying into Cabo. We're renting a car. We're driving an hour and a half. We rented an Airbnb on the beach. 83-degree ocean. We're going to snorkel, read books, just bliss out, meditate, and come back renewed, refreshed. But again, carrying each and every one of your love and your kindness. And we can't tell you how proud we are to call you friends and our spiritual family. And may this holiday brighten that light of the Christ consciousness within you such that you feel that portable paradise with every breath you take, and you share it with everyone that you meet. Thank you for sharing this with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad we did it. We weren't sure. Like a couple of